me start by saying I'm a chess player. Some man play checkers and draft. I play chess. I see the moves way ahead into the future. And some of the moves you make today, you have to have foresight to understand what they are about. Nigel couldn't play chess. I teach Nigel chess. I'll never forget it. We were in the lobby of a certain hotel because Jamaica was in such a bad place that I had to go up and speak to the IMF, you recall. Nigel accompanied me as my special advisor, and while we were in the lobby of the hotel, a chessboard was there. And I started to show him, and he took a liking to the sport. And can you imagine? He beat me at chess a couple times now. I use that as a bridge to what I'm about to say. And that is, when I met Nigel over 20 years ago, we shared a similar perspective on Jamaica. We are both products of post-independent Jamaica. So there is a distinct way in which we see Jamaica versus those of our leaders who emerged through the period of independence. And that is very important for you to understand. That our vision of Jamaica is quite different from the past leaders before. The potential that we see in Jamaica and what we want to create in Jamaica is quite different. I'm not saying that our vision is better. It is just that we are further ahead in time and we see a greater potential for the country because we have had a different experience. We had not just a shared vision, but a shared commitment towards changing Jamaica for the better. And we sat down and we talked about what we needed to do. Now, whenever you talk about change, you need two things. Well, you need many things, but two critical things, especially when you're talking about social change. You need the politics to manage change, and you need the technical skills to manage change. In the revolution in Cuba, it became quite clear that for the Cuban Revolution to last, it needed people to manage it. So, my job was to manage the politics of change. How to get people to accept a new direction for the country. And then to actually deliver that new direction. Nigel provided critical skills in the management of the technical areas of change. And I don't think that there is anyone in Jamaica who could question the technical competence of Dr. Nigel Clarke in managing the economic affairs and transforming Jamaica's economic prospects. But you will also agree that we are all taken aback when Nigel takes the stage and say, show our labor rights, show our labor rights. Because he has also developed incredible political skills. I go through that bit of history so that you understand where we are coming from. But I was never under any illusion that Nigel was going to be the Minister of Finance forever. It was always my view, and I'm certainly quietly held by Nigel, that once a critical element of the mission is achieved, then that incredible talent and skill needs to be made available not just to Jamaica, but to the world. I consider it a compliment for Jamaica, a distinct honor paid to us, that one of ours and a member of the Jamaica Labour Party that the outlook and perspective is such that it is required to be used on the international stage. We are, yes, losing our Minister of Finance, but we are gaining so much more from where he will be in the International Monetary Fund. I want to make another point to you as well, and that is, when it comes to the public's business, we tend to want to personalize it. And indeed, you must personalize it. You must say, this is my business. Your business is my business, and treat it personally. But as man, we all come to an end some point in time. And what is important is the legacy we leave behind. And therefore, the legacy is an investment in institutions. And when I use the word institution, let me put it into another form. It is an investment in people and systems. So when Nigel and I realize that we have a similar outlook, we have a similar philosophy, we have a similar vision of the world, we recognize that for that vision to be materialized, it can't just be me alone and Nigel alone. We must build institutions. We must invest in the people around us. We must ensure they understand what it is that we are trying to do. And we must build the rules that will hold people to achieving those goals. Nigel, rules that will hold people to achieving those goals. Nigel and myself and the cabinet worked very hard to correct a problem which has dogged Jamaica for many years. In fact, for all my 52 years. And that is how we manage Jamaica's financial and economic affairs. You see, friends, labor rights and family members and observers who are here, there is a kind of thinking in Jamaica that can only be described as Pnp-Ism. It is a sense of entitlement to the point that it yields a great level of bad mind. It is a kind of thinking that says, anything you want, we can give it to you, and you don't have to work for it. It's called freeness mentality. A disconnection between how we make people better and how we use our labor to create wealth. Much of the challenges that we face in the society today can be traced back to Pnp-Ism. Let me put it to you now in more concrete terms. Well, we're not going to pay attention to the economy. Economy of foolishness. Economy can't yam. Well, if we want road fix, if you want free education, if you want a house, here what we are going to do. We are going to just borrow. In other words, they believe in development by borrowing. And that is what plagued Jamaica for decades. The Pnp-Ism that dogged us also said, you see a piece of land over there, so? Go and go squat on it. Go and go take it up. I am a firm believer that every Jamaican must have access to land and good house. And that is why I spend so much of my effort ensuring that Jamaicans get access not to a little board house, to proper house and proper land. But the Pnp-Ism so much in some people's mind that all them want to do is just go live on the land and then them come quarrel with you now. We don't have no water, we don't have no road, we don't have no title. Pnp-Ism that. Labour Party not believe in that. Labour Party believe that yes, you have an entitlement, a social justice entitlement to land and house. We're going to do it in a way that when you get the house and you get the land, you have title to it and you can show ownership. That is what distinguishes us. And so you have to understand that as post-independent young men looking at our country under 18 and a half years of Pnp-Ism destruction, that we decided that we are going to give ourselves to the public life of Jamaica to improve the quality of life of all Jamaicans. It is a Pnp-Ism, and I want you to listen to this one good, that destroyed the entrepreneurial class of this country. When they realized that borrowing was such a sweet thing, that they don't really have to run the economy. All they have to do is keep the interest rate high so that people with money don't bother use it to do anything productive. They take that money and put it under government paper. You remember that? Buy government paper. That's all they used to do. Buy government paper. Now hear me now, watch me. During that period of time, that 18 and a half years of high interest rate and high borrowing, it means that many of you and your parents could not be employed. Because the money in the country, which should be used for productive things, them just take it and hand it to the government. And then the government is obligated to pay them back high interest rate. So terrible it was that one of their own members, a man of the cloth, a religious man, his conscience couldn't help him. He had to speak the truth. And he said that what Pnp-Ism did was the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich in this country. Now tell me, which rich man, which Tapanaris man was the recipient, the beneficiary of the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich in this country? You tell me who. You tell me who. I have so much things to say. I will never allow Pnp-Ism to come back in this country. I want you to understand me. When I tell you that there is a battle going on for your minds. And I can't afford to lose any of your minds in this battle because the stakes are too great. Watch the difference. In 2016, follow me. In 2015, we put a proposal that our administration, when we win, we're going to increase the income tax threshold. The same set of people who in February about them are going to increase the income tax threshold. They were the same set of people under Pnp-Ism who was saying, no, it can't work, it can't work. But you see, they don't understand and they don't share our philosophy. We want the people of Jamaica to benefit from an increase in their income levels. And we want the people of Jamaica to retain more of the money that they earn. Because that is the greatest foundation of growth. A part of the growth equation, is when you have more money in your pocket and you decide how to spend it. More business benefit, who then turn around and hire more people who have more income to spend, and then them spend it, hire more people, and you see that virtuous cycle. But when the government take the money out of your hand. You can't tell what happened to that money. So, we tell you we were going to do 1.5. And we did it. We increased the income level. Not only that, when we took over for 2 or 3 years before, public sector workers had to agree to a wage freeze. Minister Clark and myself and the cabinet, we sat down and we said, the workers of Jamaica made a serious sacrifice on behalf of the stability of the country. If the public sector workers didn't cooperate, the country would have collapsed. And therefore, in fulfillment of the commitments made, we decided that we need to address the anomalies and gaps that exist in public sector wages. And we undertook a review of the system of compensation for public sector workers. The end result of that is that over 200 billion Jamaican dollars more will go into the public sector wage bill. I am not telling you that everybody is happy, but hear what me know. Everybody is better off than they were before. When we came in 2015, the unemployment rate was in double digits. Double digits. It meant that in this room, between 10 and 14% of you could be unemployed. How did we change that? Well, we established the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, and we did some job creation exercises ourselves, but by and large, we instilled confidence in the private sector, and we made it clear that we don't want your money. Go and take your money and invest it in real things, and we kept the interest rates low. So private sector, for the first time in a long time, had to go and invest in the real economy. And that investment in the real economy is what creates real jobs. Jamaica has moved from people saying, boy, I can't find work, to employers saying, I can't find people for work. I am not saying we are perfect, but for those who are caught in the battles of the mind, you need to pay attention to the real fundamental changes that have occurred under this administration. Changes that have not taken anything from you, but has given back to you. I remember the many headlines about taxes, new taxes. When budget is being read, it was great trepidation and fear that some new tax going to come and joke you. Of course, I remember them, the tax party, the tax, everything the tax. I'm not going to call everything them tax. Them even proposed that if you were going to draw money from the bank, them would have taxed that too. You have had the benefit of an administration that said, we are frugal, we don't like borrow, And we don't like tax. We want you keep your money in your pocket. We want you get work. We want you be able to buy the things them where you want. Our administration did that. In other words, we have transformed the economy, moving from 140% debt to GDP to now we are at 74% debt to GDP. We half it. And that is why when I see some of the ignorant comments, it just redoubles my energy. Because, one of the things that Minister Clark and myself agree on in terms of a philosophical outlook. And there's a big difference, and young people will understand what I'm saying. I don't see myself as a victim of anyone. I want you to listen to that carefully. I don't believe that anyone owe me anything. Listen to me good. I don't believe the world owe me anything. I am not a victim. I believe I have something called agency. It means that I act in my own right, in my own behalf, of my own free will. I am free to fulfill my own destiny, and no man can stop that. My father is a socialist. He is not a PNP, he is a socialist. And he is a Michael Manley fan. And that is why when Desmond sometimes calling my name, him say Michael Andrew. Michael Manley say, you have to walk through the world on your feet and not on your knees. The philosophy that we have introduced into the Jamaica Labour Party complements the original philosophy that by the sweat of your brow you shall eat bread. That is what defines us as Labour right. We now go out there and say, hey boss. No. Labour right proud and say, me I go try make it on my own. Me I go try do me thing. We are progressive people because we believe, say, no matter what disadvantage was taken of us, we not going to wait for nobody to correct that. We are going to correct it ourselves. That is what we believe. And we translate that now into something called Jamaica must achieve its economic independence. It was appalling to me to see a former finance minister dressed in Armani suit is put on the bench of parliament and slapping his chest and say, when I go to the Paris club, everybody wants to talk to me because I give the best interest rates. No, when the Minister of Finance come and offer a bond, everybody wants it still. But our rates are getting progressively lower and lower. But yet, people want to lend us money. Why? Not because of the interest rate, which is high in a real economy, but because our interest rate is low and stable and being projected as good in an improving and stable and strong economy. That is a fundamental transformation of the Jamaican economy, which benefits you. economic independence. Stand up on your own 2 feet. When storm come and lick us, we can find money from our own coffers to provide benefits quickly to you, the people of Jamaica. That is what economic independence means. And that is what the Jamaica Labour Party has achieved in the 8 years that you have given me the privilege to manage your affairs. The battle for the mind is real because you have ignorant people who can't see it. You have ignorant people who are impatient. Ignorant people who just want immediate gratification and cannot understand that if they ever let Pnp-Ism through the door, it's destruction again for the Jamaican economy. I see them all nodding on the stage here, you know. It's the first them understand what is the mission of the Jamaica Labour Party. It's a serious mission we have. Now, our work is not yet done. What we have achieved in what is called fiscal stability is envied around the world, praised and admired. Whenever people talk about a country that has recovered and maintained political stability, Jamaica is the case study. Now, what are we going to do with this economic stability, this economic independence? We are going to now use that to address the issues that affect you. Today we had a presentation on the growth of one of our sister countries, Guyana. I'm so happy for the people of Guyana. The government of Guyana has decided to give back, I believe it is equivalent of about 75,000 Jamaican dollars to every adult. And I reviewed some of the comments, and I saw the ignorance. A lot of people just don't understand. What Guyana is doing, I think is very admirable, to take some of the oil revenues and give a transfer to the people. After all, it's their resource. Let them have some of the benefit. When COVID hit, we gave a grant, yes, to those persons who lost their pay because of COVID. What was it called, Minister? We gave the set cash and we gave the compassionate grant. When the electricity bills went up, because of oil prices rise, because of COVID, we gave a subsidy, right? It's called the energy copay. Recently, we topped up the 1.5 and we call it now 1.7. We also gave a little top up to pensioners by increasing the tax threshold on pensioners, so that was giving back. And now, as his parting gift, the minister announced the reverse tax credit. If you soon get the baby, you soon get. If you add up all of those, it's far more than 75. But let me ask you, which oil did we discover? Which oil we discover? What we have discovered is good economic management of the affairs of the country, and we have demonstrated that we will give back that to the people of Jamaica so that they can benefit.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Watch me now. You who are here must be part of the army of what I like to call the thinking Jamaicans. All of you here must be ambassadors and agents for good and well thinking in the country. Because we exist in an age of toxicity in information. Some of what we are feeding our minds will lead us to make bad decisions. And so, let it be known that I pay attention to every poll. You have never heard me comment on a poll. And I won't start commenting on polls because I remember the polls that say I couldn't be leader of the party. I remember the polls that say we couldn't win in 2016. I remember all of the polls that we proved them wrong. But I am happy that the polls are saying what they are saying. You know why? Because it has stirred up the labor rights. Some of you was sleeping. Some of you get comfortable. Some of you just take an easy ride. But it's now time that every labor right in Jamaica, every well-thinking Jamaican must rise to their feet and support good government. So I want the polls to continue. Because now is when I see the labor rights them start to, boss, we have to do more work, boss. Yes. Don't sit down and believe that because we have good government, that everybody know and understand. Ignorance is still in the land. You know, the story is told of the talents. And we have so many talents, but they are under a bushel unless every PD worker, every indoor agent, every outdoor agent, every runner, all of you who come and say we are big support and we are big labor right, and the only thing you know if you say shower, that alone can help us. You need to listen to what is said on the platform, and we need to feed our people the right information so that they can go back in the market, in the school, in the church, in the bars, and challenge those people who spread lies and rumors and ignorance, because they have nothing but investment in the destruction of the country. We must never allow Pnp-Ism to come back in Jamaica. You are seeing now, before your very eyes, the unveiling of chess moves that have been made and thought of long before. If you notice, I don't make shallow comments bother me. Because really and truly, some of the things I say, boy, God help us. Because what passed for intellectual thought and rigor, God help us. Anyway, in a sense, it is good that they are at the level they are. But before your very eyes, you're seeing your party transforming. Managing change, which is inevitable, without chaos, without fracture, maintaining unity of purpose. But at the same time, not skipping a beat in addressing the things that matter to you. In this constituency, I know that roads are a big concern. Minister Clark, being the Minister of Finance, yes, he has done a few roads. But we sat down and we worked out, we said, how are we going to address this issue of roads? Strategically, we need to build the highways. because the highways increase connectivity, and an increase in connectivity means an increase in business. What used to take 2, 3, 4 hours to get to Montego Bay, you can get to Montego Bay now if you drive reasonably in 2 hours. Some get there less. However, when you drive out of your yard to get to the main road, the pothole and the road condition just make you feel vexed. And we understand that. One of the first things we did is to say, let us quantify the problem. Let us see actually how many kilometers of road that we have to address. The old figure we had was that we had like about 21,000 kilometers of road. The audit that we are doing now will put us up to about 27,000 kilometers of road. So we have far more road than we had 15, 20 years ago. So we had to figure out, all right, how much money would it take us to bring all the roads up to a drivable standard in Jamaica? And if we had all the money to do it one time, how long would it take? And the point of fact is, even if we had all the money to fix all the road, it would take us about 10 years to fix all the roads. So we decided that, all right, this is going to be a 10-year program, and we're going to start with $40 billion. That's the highest amount of money ever allocated to the repair of local and community roads out of the budget of Jamaica. But then we look at it and say, Lord, we don't want to fix the road and then NWC come dig it up back. So we allocated an additional $5 billion to put in pipes, because we have changed now. We're not just going to build a roadway, we are building a utility and transport corridor. So yes, cars will be transported, but it will carry water, it will carry internet, it will carry electricity, it will carry all kinds of sensors to manage a smart infrastructure. And of course, it will carry people. So pedestrian access is important. Now, we not only allocated the money, we came and asked you, which road do you want to fix first? We had consultation. Tomorrow, the Minister of Finance, in one of his last acts as Minister of Finance, will ensure that this allocation gets what is called the Public Investment Assessment Approval. Because this is not just any kind of expenditure, this is capital expenditure. This kind of expenditure is going to increase the permanent stock and quality of our roads. Once that is done, then we go to contract. And once we come out of the contracting process, then we can start to rehabilitate those roads that you select. So you are going to see a substantial improvement in your community and local roads. In addition to that, we have allocated $3 billion for patching. And we have had to halt the patching temporarily because of the rain. We don't want to patch and then you see rain wash away what you put. So we have to halt it. So I want to assure you, those of you who have come out here tonight, who, yes, you like the excitement and the energetic and hype speech, but you want to go back to your community and your household and your home with something tangible, something meaningful that says this is what politics is about, so I can go back and report. So as I close, and I look at Derek Smith, who was one of my mentors in politics. I even to this day, he will still call me and give me some advice. And then I look around and I see his son, who is looking to take up the mantle. Now, in keeping with my own personal philosophy, there is no entitlement. Nothing is owed to you because of patronage, fraternity, hereditary, family. Nothing is owed to you. Whatever you get, you must merit it. You must work for it. And today I'm pleased to say that Dwayne served his time faithfully as a counselor, demonstrated his commitment to the seat. He didn't walk away when his dreams were not realized at first. He remained faithful. He remained humble. And so today, Dwayne, please come and stand here. I'm pleased to officially announce that at 1 minute past midnight on the 30th of October, Dwayne Smith will be the official candidate to represent the Jamaica Labour Party in Northwest St. Andrews. Politics can be about glory and high office and honor. But politics is essentially about service. If you don't intend to serve the people, don't come into politics. So as Dwayne gets the endorsement of me as leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, that endorsement comes with a caveat. Because as we transform our economy and our society, the Jamaica Labour Party is also engaged in a mission to transform our representatives. We have done a review of the party, and what is clear is that the party workers and supporters are saying our representatives need to be much more accessible, much more caring, much more innovative in delivering to the people. And I want you to know, as the people that I account to, that I take your views seriously. And as your leader, I am doing what is necessary internally to make sure that the people that we present to you are people that meet up a certain standard, that you can feel that yes, they represent me and my children, and the future that I would want to see. That they are caring and respectful. Very important. There are no kings here. You are servants of the people. But more than that, you are stewards of their affairs. And therefore, there is a level of respect that is due. And that is what we want to transform the Jamaica Labour Party to. It's not going to happen overnight. But I assure you that as your leader, that is what I'm working on, and that is what I am doing. So tonight is a good night. We bid Dr. Clark farewell, and we wish you all the best in your new endeavor. You have assured me that you are only a phone call away. But I know, though you have left Jamaica, Jamaica will never leave you. We welcome Dwayne, a new generation. We expect him to have an even better and broader and clearer vision of the future. We expect him to come with more energy and innovation and build on what has been left for him. And we put everything together and we bless it because it all works for good.